Proposition 10, expanded rent control. Should the current state law that limits the scope of city and county rent control ordinances be repealed? In 1995, the state legislature adopted the Costa-Hawkins Rental Housing Act. This law limited city and county ordinances so that the rent on single-family homes and businesses first rented out in 1995 or later could not be controlled. The landlords could raise rent to market rates if a tenant left the rental property. Subsequent court decisions determined that limits on rent increases in rent-controlled properties must not be so low that landlords do not receive a fair rate of return. This proposal repeals the Costa-Hawkins Rental Act. It allows cities and counties to regulate rents for whatever type of housing property they choose, no matter when it was built or what type of building it is. It does not change existing rent control laws, it does not create new rent control laws, and it does retain the landlord's right to a fair rate of return for their investment. There is no immediate effect on state or local governments. One does assume, however, that if rent control is expanded, it is likely that landlords will reduce the amount of rental housing offered, and the value of rental housing will decrease. Some renters will pay less for rent, and landlords will have less income from rental housing. There will be an impact on property sales and income tax revenues. Overall, the impact on state and local governments will be reduced revenue in tens to hundreds of millions of dollars a year. The losses could be less or more. Those in favor say the high cost of rent hurts seniors, families, and anyone with low or fixed incomes, and that this proposition protects them. And it simply allows local communities to decide. The supporters are primarily the AIDS Healthcare Foundation and their housing arm. Those who are against it say rent control laws reduce the amount of rental property available because landlords stop renting and it does not encourage more building. And it is primarily opposed by the Apartment Owners Association and other rental housing associations and equity firms.